many times have you done a decorative stitch, maybe changed up the width or the length and got it just perfect, and then turned your machine off and wondered what those settings were? Maybe you wrote it on a sticky note and that disappeared. So in the Pfaff Quilt Expression 4.2 sewing machine, you have an ability and a location to save some of your personal favorite stitches. So for example, if you had stitch number 7, so that's just like a normal satin stitch, and maybe you always use it a little bit narrower and maybe a little closer together because you're always using a thinner thread. So instead of remembering what those new highlighted numbers are, you can come over here, touch the heart with the arrow pointing into it, and it brings you to a new screen called Save a Personal Stitch. And with the, let's see here, does it show us how many? You can put up to 20 stitches in here. So when I touch OK, that stitch will be saved with those settings. Now it doesn't look like much because that's just one repeat of the stitch and that's what they put in here. But when I retrieve it, it will show me those settings. Let's go ahead and touch the heart with the arrow pointing into it to get out of that area. And let's put in a couple different stitches just so you can see the difference. So let's do 85. So we're going to pick a new stitch. And I'm going to just pretend that I want it a little narrower and maybe a little longer. And what if I wanted the needle position to go over, I wanted to sew a little bit more on the right side of my foot. So you can touch the Alt area here and then move that all the way to that side. So if I want to save all 3 of those settings, we can go ahead, we'll put it in the heart. And number 2 is our next available space. So I'll touch OK to confirm that. You'll see you get a little bit more to that stitch. We'll touch the heart with the arrow pointing into it to get out of that personal area. And how about one more time? Stitch number, I'm just randomly 29. Oh, gotta go faster. 129. There we go. And again, how about we make it a little longer? We'll spread this little guy out here and save it in step 3. Okay, so we got 3 different stitches in here that we can utilize. So how do we actually get to our saved stitches? So I'm going to just go back to a straight stitch, say it's tomorrow, and we want to get to those stitches. If you go to the heart, and it will ask you, do you want to load a menu? The sequencing, that's where the memory is. So like here I put in a few words and some decorative stitches. But if we actually wanted the personal stitches, arrow to the right, select personal stitch and touch OK. Now you can just pick the stitch you want. When you pick it, it will come at your new default settings. You notice they're not highlighted anymore. Those are the actual settings you picked. And so with that, that's a nice feature that you can do. So if we want to go back, we'll go personal stitch. And how about that 3rd one? There's the new lengthened version. And nope, I don't want to save it. I want to pick that other one that we had, stitch number 2. And yes, I just wanted to double check that it remembered the needle position that I changed, and then it's all ready to stitch. And when you're ready to clear out any of those stitches, we'd go to personal stitch, and number 1, if you just push clear, it will ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? And then it will leave that area empty. So you know what? I am going to clear out each of these, and then that way the machine is clear for when I am done. And that is how easy you can clear out stitches. So if you're doing a project, load up the stitches as you want and then be able to work through them right at your fingertips, even if the project takes a couple days to finish.